Hello, 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 friends. How are you? So, Jalila T here, hashtag your $1,000,000 baby. So, been a couple of days. I have been recharging my battery, trying to make some new friends for the 100 Strangers in 100 Days challenge. And I've been reading, and self-developing. So if you're just tuning in, please make sure that you comment below with where you're watching from so I can give you a shout out, right? Make sure you tell us something fun that you did today. And if you're watching a replay, I want you to drop those twos so that I know you guys are watching because I see you. I see those views. I know y'all are watching me, right? So drop those twos in the comments if you're watching a replay with us. And then also if you're watching a replay, don't forget to hit that subscribe button in the top right corner so that you never miss a live part of the conversation. So let's talk, guys. I'm going to teach you about being a badass. So, one of the books that I've been reading is You Are a Badass, right? So how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. So this book was given to me by a friend in the business, but I am just like taken so far back by this book. Hey Sheldon, thank you for tuning in. This book has been a game changer. Okay, so yeah, I know I like to talk about major key alerts and things that are a game changer for me, and this really is changing my life. Okay, so we're gonna focus on being a badass this week, and every day we're gonna talk about some tips that are gonna make you closer and closer to a badass, right? Because everybody is a badass in their own right. So let's go. We're going to go through some things. And the first step to becoming a badass is recognizing who you are supposed to love first and foremost, right? So first and foremost, you are supposed to be loving on you and only you, right? Love yourself. You should be madly in love with yourself. And it is mind-boggling that every single day you talk to people and they have no type of self-love, no self-confidence. They're not sure of themselves, right? They don't make time for themselves. They can't even remember what they like, what they don't like, what they love, what they don't love, because everything they do is for everybody else in their life. They never take a second to stop and do things for yourself. And the reality is, right? Carl says exactly. I know, right? So the reality is that you cannot give what you don't have to other people. So it all begins and it starts with you. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you can become a badass, right? But a badass in your own right. So we're focusing today on strictly loving yourself. So here we go, right? So first tip is appreciate how special you are, right? God made each one of us individually for a reason. You are uniquely made. So there is not another Jalila T. There's not another $1,000,000 baby. No, right? So you can try to duplicate me, but you will never be me, okay? That's just the way the world works, and it makes the world a better place, right? And that also means that not only is there not another you, but the gifts that God gave you, yes, you might share the same gifts as someone else, but the way you interpret things, the way you have a perspective on it, and the way you utilize your gifts are going to be unique to you and only you, right? So you need to start training your brain to understand that you're kind of sort of a big deal, right? And if nobody's ever told you that, $1,000,000 baby is telling you that today. You are a big deal. It matters, okay? Like, who would I be if I walked around and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'm not that cool. Like, what? No, y'all know that I love myself. I got some work to do too, but I do love myself. Hello, Cameo. But, I had to realize that, wait a minute, girl. God made you uniquely Jalila. Okay, there is not another Jalila on the planet, right? Drop those threes in the comments if you've met another Jalila like me. You probably haven't even met another Jalila on the planet. For real, right? You've met variations of my name, but you probably haven't met another one of me, right? So, hey Don, hey Alicia, thank you for tuning in, guys. So, bottom line is, you need to start walking around here like you King Tut to somebody, okay? Like you are a big damn deal, because it matters, right? If you believe that you're a big deal and your gifts are uniquely yours, there's not another one of you on the planet, it'll make you appreciate yourself that much more, all right? So, you are a big deal. You heard it from me. $1,000,000 baby said it, so do it, right? Somebody said one day they were in a predicament and they wondered in that moment, what would Jalila do? And I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, dude, I should totally hashtag. It reminds me of what would Jesus do? But I'm not Jesus. I ain't claiming to be Jesus. I don't want to be Jesus. But I think it's mind blowing that somebody had to stop and think, okay, what would Jalila do? I thought it was the cutest, funniest thing, right? So Dawn says, preach. I'm a peacock. I'm peacocking. Yes, I'm peacocking today. I'm bright. I'm feeling myself, because I'm a big deal, y'all. You should be a big deal too. All right, next point. Drown yourself in affirmations, right? You want to be a badass? Well, then you need to learn how to say positive things to yourself, right? You need to drown yourself with positive affirmations. So it doesn't have to be something that you made up. I personally made up my own. Somebody laughs at me because I say mantra, but mantra, right? I made my own mantra, but you don't have to make up your own. You can steal somebody else's. You can take little sayings, little quotes, right? That mean something to you. Things that you need to hear. You need to be putting them on post-its, sticking them on the refrigerator, sticking them on the wall, sticking them on your mirrors, having them in your car, on the dashboard, right? Whatever you need to help remind you that you are a badass and you are amazing and that, you know, you're kind of sort of a big deal. Or maybe you're the person that you don't need a confidence boost, but maybe you need, you just need to be told that you are able to achieve something greater than what you're doing, right? You are going to get this job. You are going to achieve this. You are going to be able to pay off that bill. You are going to be able to receive love, right? For some people, that's a big deal. For some people, it's a big deal that they don't have someone, that they're single and that they're lonely and they are looking for love, y'all, right? So not only do you need to love yourself, but you need to welcome love into your life, right? It's a difference in you wanting to love somebody, but maybe you're actually not that open to loving. It makes a difference. So maybe you need to write that. Maybe it's a quote that is going to get you your day started, right? Or maybe it's something, some people like religious things. No weapons formed against me shall prosper, right? Because maybe you're feeling threatened or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is you need, I don't care if it's 100. You write them on post-its, you write them on mirrors. There's these little Chocola markers that I love so much. Instead of that messy chalk, I use those, and I on my mirrors in my house, I have stuff written on them, right? Put it on your refrigerator, or it could be something that you need to repeat to yourself, right? So maybe you need to repeat it while you stand in a DMV line. Maybe you need to repeat it all day long, every, hour on the hour, something short, sweet, and to the point that makes you just totally changes your mindset, right? Because when you do that, you rewire your brain, right? So it helps you think differently. So instead of, whatever negative thoughts you had, you're starting to retrain your brain to only focus in on those positive things. And that's what you want, all right? So Dawn says that that's supposed to be how, mantra is pronounced. I don't know. It is in Jalila T's world. Mantra, whatever. It's the same. It's all spelled the same. Apples, oranges, tomatoes, whatever. Okay. Next, do the things you love, right? So, did you guys know that the happiest people in the world are the people that make time for the things that they love, right? And more common than not, you see every single day, moms in particular are super terrible at this, where they have put everybody else's needs before their own. So by the time, before they know it, things that they love to do, things that brought them fulfillment, they have stopped doing. And now they're depressed and they're miserable because there's nothing in their life that brings them that kind of joy, that euphoric feeling, right? It could be dancing. I don't know, drop something in the comments that you feel like you haven't done in a long time, but you know that this makes you happy, like immediately. It could be painting. It could be partying with your friends. It could be, I don't know, horseback riding. Maybe you used to be an equestrian. Maybe you used to, go dancing, right? Take dance classes or pole dancing, whatever it is, right? Drop that in the comments below, because I promise you, most of you are probably like, oh my gosh, I don't remember the last time I did that, right? So those things that bring you real enjoyment, you got to start pushing that to the forefront. I don't care if it's once a week, once a day, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is, right? Because the thing you need to realize is that joy and depression do not live in the same place, right? So if you are always happy and you're making time for the things that you enjoy, guess what happens? Depression and all of that miserableness, it can't live there. It cannot exist. It doesn't exist, right? Because there's no room for it. So you have to remember to do the things that you love. And you need to be doing them daily. Make them a priority. Stop putting those things on the back burner for other people, for other things. Your joy is just as important as anything else in the world, okay? And it makes a difference in your life overall. I see these, look at these things, nature walks, horseback riding. Yes, do these things. Make the time. If this is something that's going to put a smile on your face once a week, and it's the only time that you're smiling, hell, I want you to find a way to do it every day. We need you to smile more, not frown. Nobody likes a grumpy face. Smile, right? All right, next point. Find a replacement. All right, so find a replacement. When I say that, I mean you constantly use negative verbiage, right? You don't even realize that you're doing it, right? So what you want to do is you want to take the negativity and you want to start finding a replacement, because what you should be doing is, instead of self-sabotaging yourself every time you mess up, right? Or you feel embarrassed, or you feel like, you know, you're being a loser today, right? Instead of self-sabotaging yourself, what you should be doing is learning a lesson, right? And you should be finding a way to pump yourself up. So we need to start finding replacements for some of these things, right? So let's say that you're clumsy. And every time you fall, the thing that you say to yourself is, here you go again, being clumsy, right? Was that nice? That was not very nice to yourself. You need to say, self, my bad, right? And we need to find a replacement. So instead of harboring on the negativity, we need to say something positive. Like, you know what? I failed today, but maybe I should figure out why I keep falling. And maybe we should try to fix this, you know? Or what's another example? You're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh, girl, what is happening to your life, right? And you're down to yourself like, girl, you look rough. What is that, right? Let me tell y'all something. I do not look in the mirror and say that Jalila T # $million baby ever looks rough. I look good with this hat on, with my hair not done, and just in a rough old ponytail. I don't care, whatever, I'm still cute, okay? So you need to do the same thing too. Your replacement, to instead of saying, oh girl, that you look, oh no, we need to do something about that. That is rough. Right? Instead, say, hello, gorgeous. You're cute in whatever you wear, and we're going to rock this little Utah hat and ponytail today, because we are fierce, right? You got to start finding a replacement for some of these negative things that you're saying. What if you are the person that says every day to yourself, oh my, I'm a monster. Some people do that, right? It sounds crazy. I probably just made it sound like really dorky, but some people do that. Some people legit think that they are a monster. Like, people are scared. Like, they think these things. I told y'all, there's voices in your heads. There's trolls in your heads that tell you these things, and they believe it. So instead of thinking that you're a monster, maybe you can make that a little nicer, and you can say, I'm a little bunny who's working through my issues, right? You see how different that sounds? It makes a difference, people. It makes a difference. So, find a replacement. Start making those replacements. Hey, Justin Prince, my favoriteest. I don't even know if that's a word, but he is one of my favorites, y'all. Hate to break it to you. He's like my man crush on the low. Okay, so I got sidetracked. Whatever. All right, bring it back. Next tip. Ditch the self-depreciation humor, okay? Oh, you love my hat, Justin? I know, it's so cute. I went specifically to the airport for this. I know. All that. So, yes, ditch the self-depreciation humor, okay? So, what that means is, if you are a person that when somebody says something to you and then you make married man crush, yes, you're my married man crush. That's funny. But yes, somebody says something to you, right? And you take that and you turn it into a joke. You turn it into a joke, but it's like, oh girl, yeah, I'm so terrible. I blah, blah, blah. And you blab on for a few minutes about how terrible you are trying to make a joke. But if you think about it, you do it all the time. Like, every time somebody says something to you, there's this awkwardness where you're putting yourself down and you're trying to make it a joke. Well, newsflash, I hate to break it to you, but that's really not cute to us confidence folks. Like, it's not cute. It's awkward. kind of awkward, not fun, right? It's not fun to watch. And you're literally self-sabotaging yourself on your own. So nobody has to do it for you because you're doing it yourself. And it doesn't make any sense, right? So cut it out. You don't have to make a joke downing yourself just to be cool. You don't have to do that. It's not necessary, dude. You want to be cool? Then speak positively about yourself. You don't have to crack any jokes. If you're not good at jokes and the only jokes you got are self-sabotaging, just don't do it, okay? Do us a favor and don't do it because we don't want to see it and you shouldn't want to see it. So cut it out, ditch it, right? And the other thing you need to know is that words that you say out your mouth, or especially about yourself, are more powerful than you know, right? Here's how it works. Thoughts turn into words, words turn into beliefs, right? And then beliefs turn into actions, actions turn into habits, and then habits turn into realities. Did you catch that? Right? So let me say it again, right? Let's make sure you got this clear. So your thoughts, right, that you manifest with all day and they turn into words. So you end up saying it out your mouth. Then those words become something you actually believe because you're professing it because you're saying it out loud, right? So then the belief becomes an action because you believe it. So it becomes second nature, right? And then the action turns into a habit because you've now been thinking, saying it, believing, and you're acting it out. So now you're doing it daily. It's a freaking habit. And before you know, the habit becomes a reality. So if you're running around telling everybody that you suck, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to believe that you suck. You're going to start acting like you suck. And that's going to become a harsh reality. Okay? So cut it out. Ditch the self-depreciation humor. It's got to go. Right? All right. Next, let the love in. Let the love in, right? Everybody needs a little love in their life, right? So I have to say that I am totally guilty of this. I am so guilty of this and I am working on it. But one of the things when it comes to letting love in is you need to learn how to accept a compliment and receive it gracefully, right? And I can tell you, drop a 5 in the comment if somebody has ever complimented you like, oh my goodness, girl, you look beautiful today. And you're like, who, me? Oh no, I just put on this little, girl, this ain't nothing, right? No. I am guilty of that. Drop a 5 in the comments and I'm being 100% honest with you. If you've done that before, dude, I did not know how to take a compliment and that is so terrible, right? I can give a compliment, but for me to take one, I felt like I was being cocky if I accepted it and just said thank you. Or if I didn't like make myself seem, less than whatever they were complimenting me for, right? Like it wasn't a big deal, right? Which contradicts what we talked about earlier. So we need to learn how to do the reverse, right? The reverse is when somebody compliments you, right? You receive it gracefully. And all you have to do is say thank you, period. No extra words, nothing extra. Thank you. 2 words, okay? So learn how to receive a compliment gracefully. That's part of letting the love in. The other thing that I will tell you is you need to take care of your bodies, right? You cannot be whole and you cannot tell me that you love yourself if you don't take care of yourself. I deal with weight loss people every single day where I have to be like, girl, didn't you tell me that you love your body? Well, we want to keep it that way. So how about you do what you're supposed to do, right? Don't argue with me because we're doing things for your body to make you healthier, right? So maybe you should think twice before you skip the gym so you can continue to work or go get coffee or hang out or whatever it is you're trying to do, right? Because your body needs love too, right? And the reality is we need our bodies more than our bodies need us. So the only way for your body to be there for you is for you to take care of it. So let love in, love on your body, and take care of it, people. Okay? All right. Next, let's see. Don't compare yourself to others. Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay. Right. So don't compare. Oh, you love my lip color, Robin? Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a little heroin from MAC Cosmetics. Shout out to MAC. I love their matte lipsticks. Okay, so don't compare yourself to others. I've been guilty of this before. I am working on it, and I've actually gotten way better. I'm really good at saying, okay, Jay, so here's the deal. That is that person. That is not you, right? And that's not how we gonna do this. You have your own story. You have your own methods, and we gonna stick to what works, okay? You can try new things, but don't be intimidated by other people and other people's successes and other things that other people are doing, right? Because the reality is, you are not them and they are not you. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own gifts. Everybody has their own timing. So you have to remember that you were uniquely made to be you, right? And you need to start embracing you. Forget everybody else. It's not your business what everybody else is doing. The only person's business you should be worried about is your own, right? So block out all of that, right? And start focusing on the fact that you should be pleased with whatever God's gifts that he gave you, right? That's all that matters, right? So don't worry about everybody else. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't say, oh, but she got this and she got that. Okay, well, when are you going to start asking why not me and what's going on with me and focusing on yourself so you can get what that person has or where they are, right? Or how about you stop worrying about how you had an idea and you and another person both had this idea. The other person excelled. Hey, Michelle. Yes, Don, block the noise. The other person excelled, right? And then you're like, well, what is happening over here? Like, how come they got it? And you're comparing yourself and trying to figure it out. Like, dude, don't worry about all of that. Because what happens is they took off on their way and you're going to take off in yours. So focus in on you and only you. We call this block the noise. On my team, we talk about this. I want you to go in a box, block out all the noise and distractions, and just focus on you and your little business, right? That's all we need to be concerned about. Everything else will fall into play. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't worry about anybody else. That is all that matters. Yes, Don, put your blinders on and focus, 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 focus. We're only focusing on Y-O-U, right? Because that's the only person that you control. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I rock. I love that. Okay, so next, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. This is important. Listen up, okay? Listen up, people. If you are holding on to something and you have not forgiven yourself, it is going to forever hold you back. And let's talk about this for a second. So the reality is, right, we were all born to make spectacular mistakes, right? Did you hear what I said? It's okay that you made a few mistakes. It's okay that you made a few left turns, a few turns right. You ended up in the ditch, right? You couldn't get out for a second. You climbed out. It's okay. It's okay because you're human, right? So you were born with the ability to make actual mistakes for a reason, right? So you're making those mistakes for a reason, but every time you make a mistake, you learn a lesson. If you don't learn a lesson, you've got to go back and figure out what the lesson was, right? Mistakes are so you can learn. You learn from them and then you get better, right? It's like a domino effect. You learn, you get better, right? And then you try again. And you figure out the correct route to go. So stop beating yourself up. It's not that serious, people. You're allowed to make some mistakes. Stop it. Stop holding on to that. You woulda, coulda, shoulda, done or whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares, right? All that matters is the present moment and we're looking towards the future and that we learn something from it, right? So the reality is guilt, shame, and self-criticism are so destructive in your life, right? They're so destructive in your life, right? These are those life forces that you want to get rid of, right? So that's part of this. If you're not forgiving yourself, that is a destructive life force. But guess what? Forgiving yourself is the most powerful life force that there is on the planet. And not only forgiving yourself, but forgiving others. But that's a whole nother conversation and a whole nother live video. And we're not going to talk about forgiving others because we focus on self today. So I want you to know that it's okay, whatever mistakes you made, and you need to, and if you are struggling with this, I want you to write it down or post it. Make that one of your affirmations, right? It's okay today. It literally needs to say, it's okay today. I forgive you. How hard is that, right? Because remember, I told you, your thoughts turn into words, your words turn into beliefs, your beliefs turn into actions, your actions turn into habits, and your habits become realities. So at the end of the finish line, what we want to happen is you forgive yourself. So if you need to reprogram your brain so that you can tell yourself, it's okay today, I forgive you, then that is what you need to do. All right? So next up, love yourself, right? So common denominator here, I don't know what else to tell you, but if you don't start loving yourself, nobody will. And that is the honest to God truth, okay? Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself more than all the stars in the sky, more than any person on the planet, more than anybody on the earth. You need to love yourself because I'm telling you that it starts and it ends with you, right? You can't help nobody else until you help yourself. You got to help yourself. And you're not stuck in the life that you're in. You're never stuck in the life that you're in. You might feel stuck, but the reality is you can be proactive and start creating a life you love. But the first step, it starts with you. It starts with you. Making sure that you have enough given to yourself, making sure that you forgive yourself, making sure that you love you, making sure that you appreciate you, right? Because when you start appreciating you, you set a higher expectation for everybody else. So can't nobody come to Jalila T hashtag $1 million baby with no BS, right? Because I'm not accepting that because I love me and I appreciate me. So I set the bar and the standard very, very high for the people that are in my life, that come into my life, that come anywhere near me. They know they have to come correct, and that is where you need to be. All right? So I just wanted to share this with you. If you have not read this book, check it out. It's called You Are a Badass. No, I did not write it because Jalila is an author yet, but I might be one day soon. I don't know yet. I don't know. We will see. But I'm not in the habit of saying negative things about myself. So we're going to leave the window of opportunity open, right? Because you never know what I might do next. You just never know. So thank you for tuning in. If you love what you heard, I want you to drop a 10 in the comments below. Give me those 10s. Give me those hearts. Give me those likes. Give me those comments. If you love what you heard and you know somebody else needs to hear, smash that share button because sharing is caring. And of course, somebody else needs this message too. All right. So tomorrow we will continue on our badass streak. I'm going to keep giving you tips to be a badass, and we will talk about something else dealing with how we going to get closer to being a badass together. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.